Hi there everyone, and welcome to the 11th tutorial in the Sound for Beginners tutorial series. And in this video we're going to take a look at the bugs that occurred in the previous video, and we're also going to take a look at the Whirlpool. Now before we begin, I would like to announce that I'm going to Germany this week, so I'm not going to be doing any tutorials probably. So you will have to wait at least a week before you can see any tutorials on my channel. But just stay tuned and I'll be back in a week. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is to fix the dialogue. And the problem here was that the caption was actually too long. So we're just going to shorten this to please enter a password, and we're going to make it title format as well so it looks a little bit better. And now we're going to fix that issue where you could select multiple text rows at once. And to fix this, all you have to do, if you have a text row that is selectable, is to do player text row text size, and this is going to get the player ID. It's also going to get the player text row, and within the array we're going to give it the player ID. Then it wants two X and Y values, and these will start. So if we take the X one for instance, X is going to start at 148.75 on this particular text row, and then we're going to say how far down from this one are we going to have a clickable area, and or this is actually not down and up because this is the width, so the width of the actual text row. I'm going to take 100, I think that's enough, and on the y-axis I'm going to have 10. So here it's going to go from 148 to 248. We're going to save and we'll go up, and now we're going to fix this continue button here as well. So we do text draw. This time we do not use player text draw, we do text draw set text size, and this time it wants a player ID as well. No, sorry, it does not need a player ID. What it does need is the actual text draw ID, which is registered continue, and it then needs two values, X and Y, and I'm just going to do 110. And then I'm going to compile, and now we're going in game. So let's see here. Right, as you can see, there is a problem here, and as you can see, the password part of enter password as well as the dots has actually changed line, and now we cannot change any of them. So why does this occur? Well, the reason for this is that 110 was not actually enough, and the reason why it changed line here is that 100 pixels was not enough, so it had to change line. So we're going to have to double that at least, and we're not sure if 10 is enough, but we'll try to double it. So let's do 220 instead and see if it works. Right, so I actually tried with 200 and it wasn't enough. So what I'm going to do is to tell you to do 320 instead. So you go on Player Connect, you then go under register password, and you're going to set the player text draw text size to 300 on the x-axis and 20 on the y-axis, and you then go on game mode init and you change the register continuous text draw text size to 320 as well. Right, so this time you can see that the password part of enter password and the dots has actually not changed line, and if you try you can see that you no longer can select two text draws at the same time. Now you can see here that 20 is about the right size, and If you want to, you can change some of these values, but I think it's good now. So now you can click on enter password. You can also see that the title is no longer bugged, and you can write anything you want here and it works. Alright, so let's go back. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about Whirlpool. Now, if you go to your web browser and you search for Whirlpool SAMP, you can find the thread here, and inside the thread you can see a lot of useful things. You should go to the download section first and get the source and the DLL file. And what you have to do is to just ignore the source and go inside the binaries folder. And here you can see that there's a DLL file. And what you have to do is to drag this file inside your plugins directory. And you also have to edit your server.config file and make sure that Whirlpool is on the plugins line. Once you have done so, we can begin. So what we have to do is to actually add native vp underscore hash with the arguments of a buffer array, a length, as well as a string. So this is what we're going to have to add to the top of our script, and once we have done so, we can start. So basically what vp hash is going to ask for is first a buff or a buffer, and this is going to be where the hash is stored. We're just going to create a new buff1, and this is going to be 129 long. It has to be 129 long, and then we're going to do the actual hashing. So what we do is vp underscore hash. We then have the actual buffer, which is buff1. We're then going to do size of, and then we'll give it the buff1. So it's going to be 129. Size of is going to just give it the size of it, and that's 129. And then we have the actual string. So let's say that the user has the password hello 123. Now for print out this, and I haven't shown you printf, but basically what printf is, it is like print, but then this time you can actually have a variable, and it's kind of like scanf syntax, because you do s and d and so for string and integers, but this time you actually have to have a percentage sign before. So if you do percentage s, it's going to write a string, and the string that it's going to write is actually the one that you provide in the next parameter. So if you write printf and then within speech marks you do percentage s, and then you give the buffer to this, it's going to actually write the buffer. So if we save and compile now, and then if we start up the server, we can see that we get a lot of characters here within this string, and basically what it's going to do is to make it a lot harder for people to actually use the passwords if they get the passwords. So if someone hacks your system and gets into your user files, then it's going to get the hash of the password and not the actual password. So instead of hello 123, it's going to get all these characters here, and basically they are useless unless he writes hello 123 in the same hashing system, and then we'll get an identical, but you cannot reverse it really. So that's why it's really cool, and it's really secure to save your password in this with this system. So basically that's what we're going to use in the next time, or in the next tutorial. So in the next tutorial what we're going to do is to start with yini, and we're going to actually finish the registration system, and we're going to save a hashed password in the player's file. So see you in the next one.